Over 1,000 people have donated organs in the last year, but there are still nearly 8,000 people waiting for transplants. 3 people every day die waiting to receive an organ transplant. Thousands more need corneas, heart valves and other tissue. Imagine if these patients did not have to wait. Imagine if you could do something to help. To achieve our vision of ensuring that every potential organ and tissue donor is considered, and that all families are given the opportunity to give a valuable gift, please watch the following interviews with families whose lives have been affected by donation and transplantation.
My name's Dino. I'm 42 years old now. I don't know what the actual condition's called, it's a long word. It's because I've got glaucoma as well as having cornea transplants. It has affected it. Obviously, it's affected me big time because I was registered blind by Mr. Shah July 2007. The only thing I know is that when I went for a job interview when I was 25, I had a medical at work and I failed the medical on my eyesight. I was about 25 just before my daughter was born, and then I went to an optician's, and ever since I've been going up City Road for about 15, 16 years now. I used to work, I was working up till April 2007, but unfortunately I got made redundant then. Then I lost my sight. I was registered blind in July 2007, and ever since then it's been pretty tough. It has, adjusting to things and trying to find work and help off people. It is tough. And when I had my surgery and they took the bandages off, it was fantastic. Just to see that little bit of improvement, just seeing where I'm going without using my white cane, it was fantastic. It was a relief because I was worried that it wouldn't work at all, especially having 3 previously. Well, it did. It was absolutely fantastic to be able to see things again. But it's not 100%, but it's a hell of a lot better than what it was before. It's a cornea donation from between a 3-year-old and a 60-year-old, I think it was. You're not told much more. Obviously, it's all confidential, isn't it? But I suppose if it wasn't for people like that, I wouldn't have these. I wouldn't have got these done. In fact, like I say, if I didn't have them, I don't know where I'd be today if I didn't. I wouldn't have any sight. I know that.
My name's Lonnie Johnson. I'm 53 years old, and I became fairly ill at round about the age of 15 when I was jaundiced. I had a spell in hospital for a while, and they basically diagnosed that I'd got a disease of the liver. It came to a point where, obviously in and out of the hospital over a number of years, came to the point where I got really ill, and they decided that I needed to go on the liver transplant list, and from there they decided to, basically they said I needed a liver transplant, and I had the transplant in July of 2009. I waited around about, from the time that they called me in the January, I waited possibly 6 months. I think it came quite quick because they were saying that my blood type wasn't really a common blood type, and I may have to wait a while. During that time, obviously, I could have got worse. I was lucky really that they found a donor, and they called me out on that date. I had the transplant. I was in hospital for about a week and came home, and ever since then it's just been plain sailing. I've been quite well. It's made a big difference to my life. I'm able to get about a bit more. I have a granddaughter who's 3.5. I'm able to probably do a little bit more with her now. And I'm also a foster carer, which I went into recently, and I look after a 14-year-old girl at the moment. I was able to know that it was a 63-year-old man who came from East Anglia. He was married with 2 daughters, and and that if I wanted to write to the donor family, I could do that. I haven't actually done so as yet, but I'm in the process of writing them just a thank you letter to say that I was grateful that he was actually on the donor list, and that if it wasn't for people like this man, I probably could have still been waiting, or maybe not even here now.
My name is Sarah Taylor. I'm a staff nurse on the intensive care unit at Birmingham Children's Hospital. My mum died suddenly 3 years ago and donated organs, 5 organs, to help 5 people. Yeah, my mum was perfectly fit, well, one of the healthiest adults you'd ever meet, and suddenly one day collapsed with a subarachnoid brain hemorrhage. She had a very, very short illness. She was very sick for 4 days, which we were told there wasn't a lot they could do for her. And then she had another bleed whilst on the unit at the QE, and unfortunately died as a result of that on Christmas Eve. She was a nurse herself, had been since I think she was 18. She did her nurse training, was a nurse all her life, and believed heavily in giving blood and organ donation. Always carried a donor card. It was just instilled into us because that was her belief, and we knew it was her belief, and we all joined the donor register when we were able to, because that was Mum's belief. So to be honest, they didn't even approach us in that instance. It was us that said she would want to donate organs, and it was us that instigated it. She donated 2 kidneys to 2 separate people, right and left kidneys. Her lungs went to, they all went to adults. Her lungs went to a lady in her 60s who unfortunately died, I think 4 months later. She recovered from the transplant, but then got a chest infection and died. I believe the other recipients are all doing well. Her corneas as well went to 2 separate people who've apparently regained sight from having very, very poor vision prior to that. Obviously it was a horrendous situation, and the grief is unbearable, but I have to say that the organ donation was a massively positive part of it, because we knew it would be what she wanted. It helped us through the initial phase greatly. All her organs were donated on Christmas Day, which was, although our Christmas had been ruined, we were very aware that 5 people's Christmases they had the best Christmas ever. Through that initial period, it really, really helped. We planned her funeral around raising awareness of organ donation. We got the donor family network involved. We handed out donor cards so that people could join the donor register, and I know that at least 15 people from attending Mum's funeral then joined the donor, and those are just people that told us about it. And then as the times progressed on, you kind of see her death in a more positive way. It's obviously a negative thing, and we obviously miss her greatly, but I kind of focus on the positive aspect of the organ donation has brought, especially working in my job where I see the recipients on a regular basis. I have an awareness that Mum really made a difference, and it really feels like her life made a difference.
Okay, then I'm Dawn Griffiths, and I'm the eldest sister to Karen Griffiths.
I'm Marie Newton, and I'm the younger sister.
Karen died on the 19th of February 2007. As a family, we had a hard decision when we decided to donate our organs, but we spent, well, it wasn't a lot of time really, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It was good an hour, but we already knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to donate our organs. We believed in it, even though we never talked about it amongst us. We believed in it. We don't know who. Until that point, we didn't know who had signed a donor card or anything. We just knew. I know
the
that's
coordinator came in and asked us, and that's when it was like, oh no, is Karen a donor?
Yeah.
No, we didn't know, so it was just like, well, we believe in it, so, and we discussed it as a family, included Karen's daughter, Karen's then partner, and then kind of come to the conclusion of
what we wanted to donate and what we didn't feel comfortable with donating. She died of a subarachnoid hemorrhage very suddenly in the bathroom in strange places, which was exactly the same way that our mother had passed several years before. So obviously we know it was so emotional with Mum that when Karen passed exactly the same way, it seemed doubly emotional. And I think it really affected us badly, didn't it? Oh, bless her. And I think from doing the organ donation, we felt that it would ease our pain, and it has somewhat, because you always know somebody's there from the kindness of Karen, I suppose you would say.
She's living on in other people.
Yeah. And she's making other people happier and giving them a life in that sense, because she always was a very good neighbour. She always liked helping people, so it seemed the right thing to do.
I like the idea that I am asked because at such an emotional time you don't think about it anyway. But I feel sorry for the staff for having to ask, because it's got to be such a weird thing to go and ask somebody who's just been told their family member will not leave. You know, oh, by the way, could you possibly consider this? It's mixed emotions, but me myself, regarding Karen, I'm glad they came in, because I don't think we would have spoke about it otherwise, I think.
I found that it's helped an awful lot, because like now the anniversary is looming, we sit back and I can think that somewhere somebody has benefited and good is coming of it, and it makes it easier to know that somebody is still doing well through Karen's help.
It's nice to know that out of such a sad time, such a good thing has become of it, if you know what I mean. It's like the one lady says she has 2 birthdays a year now. She has a birthday, like obviously the anniversary that she received her organs, and she thanked us for that and said if it wasn't for you, we would never have had that. This is from Lynn, who was the Long. Right. Yeah. This is an extra special time for me as I look back over the last 3 years, and I thank not only God but yourselves and your loved one, who I now call my new best friends. Not only did you allow me my new lungs, but gave me a new birthday and a new life. From a wheelchair and oxygen, not even able to comb my hair, to a new me who has given me another chance, which I am thankful, which I thank you all every day of my life, and I know my husband and 3 boys also feel the same. I have been able to do things I never thought I would, and it has only been possible because you were able to think of saving others' lives at such a sad time for yourselves. I only hope that you can take some comfort in knowing that your loved one will go on in mine and my family's thoughts and hearts every day, and there will never be a day goes by when I don't take time to think of you all forever in our thoughts. And my family makes me cry.